What's good, YouTube land? It's time to talk the iconic yellow Decepticon. No, not the one you're thinking of. Unless you're thinking of Legacy Dragstrip. And yes, I nailed it. Or you were probably thinking about him because you read the title of the video, then I think I ruined my own joke, but I don't care. Yes, Dragstrip. We're redoing the Stunticons. So, we got a picture of Dragstrip in his alt mode. Dragstrip giving a facial expression, I guess. More Dragstrip. That nice character artwork. I still think it should be Galvatron up there instead of Megatron, but nonetheless. Fox. Yay. Tech specs. Yay. Why does it just say parents in a bunch of different languages? I don't know. But here we are with a redo of a take on Generation 1 Dragstrip. You know, as you do. For size comparison, here's Combiner Wars Dragstrip, who I have to say I haven't touched him since I formed Menasor all those years ago. Freaking God, 7 years ago. Combiner Wars 2015. Oh God, we're getting old fast. And yeah, I kind of feel like he needed an update because this guy, he felt great at the time, but like this mechanic, this really has not aged well, and like the just overall ball joints just aren't as solid anymore. And I think he took the design a bit too literally, and also tried to put his own spin on it, but made a very generic vehicle, apparently. I think the thing I like the most is still the bleeding eyes. But this guy, I like him quite a bit in the time I've been playing with him. So another size comparison. Here he is with G1's Dragstrip. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah. It's like, how do you modernize this design and deal with the inherent kibble? I think that this guy did a pretty good job. Like, things are in the right places. Vaguely, he took that kibble. Why did my brain stop working right there? And, you know, made it as clean as possible. But we have to talk about the colors. And frankly, I think there's a bit too much good old-fashioned mustard. Although it is highlighted with either, do you prefer this kind of mustard or a more barbecue flavor of mustard? And he's got some nice accents of ketchup. I don't have any ketchup on me to continue the gag. Yeah. If your Transformer looks like he was designed by Matt Groening, he might be too monotone. The only thing that really isn't is that head, which I do like, but it's a drag that strip of eye visor isn't light piped. Although he does have a fairly acceptable reason why not. He's also hollow in the back of the head. Jesus, Hasbro, again? Twice in a row? Like, I know he's so obsessed with racing and winning that it's probably the equivalent of him not having a brain, but could you literally not say this Transformer doesn't have a brain? That sentence sounded really redundant. Anyway, since I have G1 toys out here, I just want to show off that yes, core class is G1 Scramble City Limb class. It should be renamed to that. Try writing that on a box. G1 Scramble City Limb class. Rolls right off the tongue. And also, I didn't even think about it in the video, but he's got rocket-powered punches at very awkward angles. He's not good at straight punches, but he can throw some mean hooks. And since I have him out here, here he is with Wild Rider, who, in a sort of beautiful kind of way, is the next Stunticon being released eventually, whenever. So let's actually talk about the toy and the things that are good about it. Anyway. Articulation-wise, universal shoulders. Can go full 360, not hindered by the shoulder pads. Although they are sometimes hindered by the shoulder pads, which are on ball joints. So if you want like that kind of flavor, you can have it. You can have your drag strip any way you want them. With all the condiments, I might as well be the condiment king. Hey, there's a guy who will never make it into DC's live action movies. Mostly because DC can't figure out what they're doing with their own live action movies. Shoulder can go out that far. You do get a bicep swivel on a mushroom peg. Very nice elbow hinge. I wish there was a wrist joint, but with this panel having to swivel out, I guess they couldn't budget in a wrist joint, unfortunately. You do get a waist swivel and a bit of something we'll talk about later. But you do get a full 360 on that. Hips can go forward, back all the way. Both his arms and legs can do a beautiful spread. I forgot to do in that last video. Swivel at the thigh. Decent knee, actually pretty good 90-degree knee bend for just how much mass there is in the shin. And you have backwards ankle hinge, which is more for transformation, but I guess you can use it as a point of articulation. You also have a dedicated ankle tilt, which I don't particularly like the look of. It makes it look like his foot's just been cut off. Like, just pretty much only there is where it looks the least severed. So, overall articulation is not amazing, but it is pretty up to modern standards of very acceptable. Nothing really amazing, but like, he's got a full package. Ladies. I guess one nitpick I kind of have is the thighs look really small compared to his long shins. And I do partly wish that these were the front with the engine blocks. Just give him a pop of silver to break up the monotony of yellow. But technically the monotony of yellow is accurate. So, I don't know. They're going for cartoon accuracy, and yeah, I guess they nailed cartoon accuracy. I think. I don't know. What else does he have besides all the sculpted in detail, even on his back, which is very nice and clean? He does have a pair of weapons, a pair of pistols. In fact, they're the exact same pistol, not even remolded at all. You get it? Yeah. Nice and purple with scopes on them, which always bring me in mind of the the hardball, the pistol that Arnold bought in Terminator, or not bought, I should say, stole and killed the store owner. But like that, I know sort of pistols with a sight like that are a very modern thing. Like they are around technically, but they're not. It's not a common style of pistol you see in and I would say in real life, but even in fiction, you don't see it a whole heck of a lot. So it's just that jumps out to me whenever I look at it like that. I know it's not that pistol because this is very sci-fi, and that pistol was based off a real thing, I imagine, or was a real thing. I'm going too much into the guns. They can plug together. They're nice and purple. They can plug together to sort of mimic his G1 combiner, because he had one pistol like this, and he had like a vehicle mode weapon, and that this sort of mirrors that almost, not really, but if you squint and you're almost blind, you might be able to. Anyway, you can give him to him in his hand, which I don't like the idea of him holding two like that. It doesn't look right. Rather give him the double pistols. Or, hilariously, you can plug them in. I don't know why you would do weapon storage like this, because these are on the bottom of the vehicle mode, because the vehicle mode has dedicated ports for itself. But you can plug his guns into his shins. There, break up the monotony enough for you. Or if you want proper storage, pseudo proper storage, you can plug them into the backs of his shins, which are their vehicle mode storage spots. Or can you do this? Yes. You can plug them into a couple ports on his back. Where did I put the other one? I think I. Where did I put that gun? Where? Oh, it's on his shin. It's on his shin. Anyway, let's take them off. And we'll get him into vehicle mode. But since I'll never have a chance to mention it again, I'm going to bring this G1 Dragster back in. And if you have this thing from Studio Series Bumblebee Movie Ravage, surprisingly, it actually kind of fits and looks like quite a mighty gun in Dragstrip hand on his hand. Yeah, I thought I would mention that because that's kind of cool. Or if you have any pegs that size, they'll fit on a G1 toy. And I don't think I've actually done a review of Dragstrip. I might do a full Menasor video if I ever complete a G1 Menasor. Because they're not very difficult. This guy, I don't enjoy transforming him because of that sliding mechanic. It has not aged well. The G1 sliding mechanic has aged well, aged better than the Combiner Wars sliding mechanic. But we can transform this guy. So rotate the waist, can flip this part down, fold his head back, and we're going to leave that alone for the moment. Rotate the shoulders, hinge these up. This is why you need these panels rotated down. Fold the wheels back, plug everything together, and then rotate that. This hinges all the way back and tabs into those panels on the forearm. And there, you have a Gerwalk. Or you can unpeg the shins, hinge them up very Aeriobot style, slide it in, tap them together, and rotate the spoiler up. Just make sure everything's nice and compact. And there, very quickly, you have Dragstrip in his vehicle mode. And I like it. I like it, except for the visible back of the head syndrome. Now, I guess, theoretically, you could use that as a seat. Although, normally it's sit on my face, Dragstrip. I don't know why you'd want somebody to sit on the back of your... Don't ask what I look up. Don't ask how I know that. Anyway, very solid, like nice, compact, tight. Everything tabs together. Feels good. Actually, there's very little kibble when you think about it. Like, very clean. Besides the bit that's the head and like the tiny extra silver for the fake motor, you can hardly tell it actually transforms. So here he is compared to his G1 self. Aw, precious. And for some reason, that rub sign has never worked since I've owned this toy. But like, you can just see how everything's in the right spot. The wheels, the spoiler, the engine, the cockpit, or even there would be my only, I can't even call it a critique because of the way this guy transforms. It makes sense. There's no windshield right there. But yeah, everything's here. Everything looks good. That's why this sort of half-hearted redesign to more a sort of standardized generic F1 racer kind of confuses me. Because this is very specifically like a was it a P64? Something like that? One like a very specific model of F1 racer. And I didn't know much about this thing at the time, so I didn't realize it was a redo. The thing I like the most about this thing, if I'm going to give it credit, is the maroon. Like the, well, that is from the red stripes. I wish this guy had more of the red over him to break up the yellow. This guy actually has a seat. But, so it does roll well, and it's 6 wheels, as it should. But we can arm him up. You can plug the guns into their traditional G1 spots, looking good right there. And that's basically it for the vehicle mode. There's nothing revealed, unless you want to count that Decepticon insignia. He really should have a proper Decepticon insignia on his robot mode, in my opinion. But I guess that brings us to the end and the other thing he does, which is his third mode, the arm mode for Menasor. And I don't think you'll be ready for this arm mode, because there's a little slot right there below those screws in what kind of looks like a face, with a Tamashi stage port that I didn't mention. So, are you ready for the most complicated transformation you'll ever find? So you just find something, slot it in, and release. That's his combined mode. I'm not kidding. It's going to attach to Menasor like that, as in legitimately, like, I'm not kidding. This is cartoon accuracy, people. This is cartoon accuracy, where he just had a car as an arm, but had an elbow. So to simulate that, yes, you can split him in half, which means totally you can Darth Maul him. Or maybe also you could rotate his head if he did actually want somebody to sit on his face. You have that option. Or what was my reference I was making? Oh, a thing about the Omen. If the guy from the Omen took a picture of Dragstrip, come on, don't fight me. I want to do the thing. I want to do this very specific thing. So yes, now it's time for his very climactic battle against Obi-Wan in Episode 1. He just killed his mentor, and it's over. Yep. Which, hey, look, his waist can still swivel. All right, I think that's about Dragstrip. I like him quite a bit. Now, as I mentioned, once I combiner, like over there on my shelf, I don't play with them. So like Menasor, Defensor, Superion have just been sitting on my shelf, and I haven't played with them since 2015. Occasionally, they might fall over as I move stuff around, because, they're very awkwardly balanced. So I am looking forward to them completely redoing Menasor. I've seen all the complaints about Motormaster. I'm still excited to get my own copy eventually. And maybe they'll do more combiners after. Like, I still need a new Bruticus, because I only have FOC Bruticus. I want to get the Unite Warriors set, because I prefer that look over the Combiner Wars. Also, this Comboner is awkward as hell to get out. It's stiffened up over the years, much like something else. So I'm going to return this Dragstrip to his combined mode. Shove him back on his boss. Oh god, I hate that. There you go. shove his hand back on, and we'll say that this Dragstrip is the superior one. Because that's all Dragstrip cares about is winning. And this is a good toy. I think you can get him on his own, and you'll be satisfied, although I think you'd be confused. Like a little kid would be confused by like, Daddy, Daddy, what does that do? And then he just falls in half. I think a kid would be confused by that, but like, what kid doesn't break their toys anyway? It's it's protection from breaking because it's intended to do that. I am looking forward to the full combiner. I'm curious how they're going to handle breakdown and dead end. We still haven't seen any pictures or info on those two. Or maybe they'll do a what was the other guy? Off-road? The truck. Maybe they'll do him as well. I wouldn't mind seeing him not as part of the combiner, but like just kind of a redo just to be a character on his own. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I have been the Condiment King. You have been amazing. And whatever you do, make sure that you win. Until next time, keep it weird. Bye.